The weight rack clattered like a gunshot in the empty gym, and Joshua's heart slammed against his ribs harder than the barbell he'd just dropped. Tyler's laugh echoed off the mirrored walls, oblivious, as he wiped sweat from his brow and grinned that easy, all-American smile that had been Joshua's anchor since freshman year at UCLA. "Dude, you okay? That was your best set yet. Almost beat my PR." But Joshua wasn't okay. The words were lodged in his throat like barbed wire, and as Tyler slung a towel over his shoulder, Joshua knew this was the moment, or he'd swallow the truth forever and choke on it in the silence of another lonely night. Los Angeles sprawled out beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows of Equinox West Hollywood, the city lights flickering to life like distant stars mocking his isolation. It was a Thursday in late summer, the kind where the Santa Ana winds whispered promises of change but delivered only dry heat and restless nights. Joshua and Tyler had been coming here for years, ever since they bonded over late-night burritos and bad decisions in their cramped Westwood apartment. Tyler, with his golden boy charm and linebacker build from high school football, had always been the straight arrow, literally, dating cheerleaders and sorority girls like it was his birthright. Joshua, slimmer, with a runner's lean frame and eyes that hid too much, had played the role of the loyal sidekick, the one who laughed at Tyler's jokes and covered for him during hangovers. But tonight, as the gym emptied out and the hip-hop playlist faded to a low hum, Joshua felt the facade cracking. He'd rehearsed it 1,000 times in his head, under the shower's spray, during commutes on the 10 freeway, even in the quiet hours before dawn when the ache in his chest felt like a physical wound. "Tyler, I need to tell you something." Simple words, but they carried the weight of every stolen glance, every brush of shoulders that lingered too long, every dream where Tyler's hand found his instead of pulling away. Joshua's family back in Ohio had disowned him 2 years ago when he'd finally come out to them over a tearful FaceTime call, his mother's voice cracking like ice underfoot. "We love you, Josh, but this isn't us." The rejection had carved hollows under his eyes. But Tyler had been the one constant, the brother he chose when blood turned cold. Tyler clapped him on the back, the touch electric and innocent all at once, and headed for the water fountain. "Hit the showers? I'm starving. Tacos at that spot on Melrose." Joshua nodded mechanically, following him into the locker room where steam hung like fog in a noir film. The space was all chrome and tile, smelling of eucalyptus body wash and the faint tang of exertion. Tyler stripped off his shirt without a second thought, his broad shoulders flexing under the harsh fluorescence, tattoos from his Navy Reserves days snaking across his ribs like forgotten promises. Joshua averted his eyes, busying himself with his lock, but the mirror betrayed him, reflecting the curve of Tyler's spine, the dimples at the base of his back. Started small, the unraveling. Back in college, they'd shared everything. Secrets over cheap beer, ambitions whispered on Venice Beach at midnight. Tyler wanted to be a screenwriter, chasing the Hollywood dream with scripts about underdogs and redemption arcs. Joshua, studying graphic design, sketched storyboards for him late into the night, their knees bumping under the desk. There were moments, Tyler's hand steadying him after a keg stand, a hug that pressed too close after Tyler's breakup with Emily, that Joshua replayed like forbidden reels. But Tyler was straight, solidly, unyieldingly so, the kind of guy who high-fived at Coachella and flirted with baristas without a hint of doubt. Joshua had buried his feelings deep, fertilizing them with denial until they bloomed into something poisonous, a love that twisted friendship into torment. Tonight, though, The poison demanded release. As Tyler toweled off, humming an old Springsteen tune, Joshua's voice broke free, raw and unsteady. Wait. I can't do this anymore. Tyler turned, half-dressed, his expression shifting from casual to concerned, like a storm cloud edging over the Pacific. Do what? Man, you look like you saw a ghost. Joshua's palms slicked with sweat, not from the workout but from the precipice he teetered on. He thought of his therapist's words, Dr. Elena, with her no-nonsense Brooklyn accent transplanted to L.A. Authenticity isn't a luxury, Joshua. It's survival. Survival. Yeah, that was it. Hiding had been slow death, each day eroding him like waves on Malibu cliffs. I like guys, Tyler. Not just I'm gay. And it's been killing me, pretending around you. The words hung there, heavier than any deadlift, and the locker room seemed to shrink, the air thickening until Joshua could barely breathe. Tyler froze, towel midair, his green eyes widening in a flicker of something unreadable, shock, disgust. Joshua braced for the recoil, the polite distance that would sever them like a bad edit in one of Tyler's scripts. But Tyler didn't recoil. He dropped the towel, stepped closer, and pulled Joshua into a hug that crushed the air from his lungs. Jesus, Josh. Why didn't you say something sooner? I'm your best friend. Man. That doesn't change shit. Relief flooded Joshua, hot and dizzying, but laced with the bitter undercurrent of unrequited truth. Tyler's arms were strong, familiar, but they held him as a brother would, not a lover. Still, in that embrace, Joshua allowed himself to imagine, for one stolen heartbeat, that it could be more. They dressed in silence after that, the tension easing into awkward laughter over Joshua's admission. Remember that time at Pride? You ditched me for those drag queens, Tyler teased, slinging his gym bag over his shoulder. Joshua chuckled, the sound hollow but genuine. Yeah, well, now you know why. Outside, the LA night enveloped them, palm trees rustling like conspirators, the distant wail of sirens underscoring the city's restless pulse. They grabbed tacos at the food truck, neon lights casting Tyler's face in shades of electric blue and pink. Conversation flowed easier than Joshua expected. Tyler's questions gentle, probing without pity. When did you know? Anyone special? Joshua shrugged, salsa burning his tongue. High school, I guess. Crushes on the swim team captain. No one special now, just surviving. He didn't mention the dreams where Tyler starred, the ones that left him waking with sheets twisted and heart racing. Tyler nodded, serious for once, his usual bravado stripped away. I'm proud of you, dude. Takes guts. My uncle came out last year, family went nuclear, but he's happier now, surfing in San Diego like nothing happened. Joshua absorbed that, a spark of hope igniting. Maybe their bond could weather this. Weeks blurred into a new normal. Gym sessions resumed, but now with an undercurrent of openness. Tyler's jokes laced with ally flags, Joshua's shoulders lighter without the secret's burden. They hiked Runyon Canyon at dawn, Tyler venting about a script rejection while Joshua sketched the Hollywood sign against the sunrise. One evening, over craft beers at a Silver Lake dive bar, Tyler leaned in, voice low. Hey, you ever think about dating? Like, for real? Joshua's pulse quickened, the question a double-edged blade. Trying to set me up with your gym bro? Tyler laughed, but his eyes held something deeper, a shadow Joshua couldn't name. It was during a weekend getaway to Big Sur that the first crack appeared. They'd rented a cabin overlooking the Pacific, waves crashing like applause for their unspoken truce. Bonfire crackling, stars wheeling overhead. Tyler cracked open a sixth beer and fixed Joshua with a stare that pierced the night. Josh, that night at the gym. It got me thinking. About us. About why it hurt so much to hear you'd been carrying that alone. Joshua's breath caught, the fire's warmth no match for the chill creeping up his spine. Was this it? The confession he'd fantasized about? Tyler realizing their connection ran deeper than bromance? But Tyler's next words shattered the illusion. I mean, if I'd known, maybe I could have helped you find someone. Like, protected you from assholes. Friend-zoned again. The familiar sting. Joshua forced a smile, poking at the embers. Yeah, my knight in shining armor. They talked until the fire died. Tyler sharing stories of his own vulnerabilities. His dad's abandonment, the pressure to be the man of the house in their Boise suburb. In those confessions, Joshua saw the boy beneath the bravado, and his love deepened, roots twisting further into impossible soil. Back in LA, life accelerated. Tyler landed a gig as a PA on a Netflix pilot, his days swallowed by craft services and ego clashes. Joshua freelanced logos for indie bands, his portfolio blooming with vibrant designs that mirrored his thawing heart. They texted constantly, Tyler's emojis a lifeline, Joshua's replies laced with subtext only he understood. Then came the party. A rooftop bash in Echo Park for Tyler's coworker, string lights twinkling like fireflies, indie folk strumming from a guitar. Joshua arrived late, scanning the crowd for Tyler's familiar silhouette. He found him in a corner, lips locked with a brunette in a sundress. Lila, the producer's assistant, all curves and confidence. Joshua's stomach plummeted, the sight a punch to the gut. Tyler pulled away, spotting him, and waved him over with that grin. Josh, meet Lila. She's got killer taste in tequilas. Lila was charming, her laugh infectious, and as the night wore on, Tyler's arm stayed slung around her waist. Joshua nursed a drink, the bitterness not from the lime but from the realization. Tyler's world was straight lines, and Joshua was forever the detour. By midnight, jealousy gnawed at him like termites in drywall. He slipped away early, hailing an Uber through the haze of exhaust and laughter. Alone in his Echo Park walk-up, posters of Basquiat peeling from the walls, Joshua scrolled through old photos, Tyler's arm around him at Dodger games, their faces flushed with beer and victory. Tears came then, hot and unbidden, soaking his pillow as the city hummed indifferently outside. He'd bared his soul, and Tyler had accepted the friend, not the man. Was that enough? Or was it just another layer of the cage? Morning light sliced through the blinds like accusations, and Joshua groaned, head pounding from the tequila's revenge. His phone buzzed insistently. Tyler, of course. Dude, where'd you bolt to? Lila wants to do brunch. Your vibe would kill it. Joshua stared at the screen, thumb hovering over reply. Part of him wanted to ghost, to curl into the fetal position and let the hurt fester. But the other part, the one that remembered Tyler's hug in the locker room, the raw honesty under the stars, won out. Stayed up too late sketching. Rain check. Tyler's response was immediate. Thumbs up emoji. Then, missed you last night. Talk soon. The day dragged. Joshua's freelance gig turning into a blur of Adobe Illustrator layers and coffee refills at Intelligentsia. By afternoon, he'd convinced himself it was fine. Tyler's life, his choices, they were bros, elevated now by truth, not diminished. But when evening rolled around and Tyler showed up unannounced at his door, six-pack in hand and that sheepish grin plastered on, Joshua's resolve crumbled. "Figured you needed backup after ditching the party," Tyler said, kicking off his Vans and flopping onto the sagging couch. The apartment smelled of takeout lo mein and unwashed ambition. Vinyl records stacked like Jenga towers. They cracked beers, the hiss a small surrender, and Tyler launched into Lila tales, her laugh like wind chimes, her script ideas sharper than his. Joshua nodded, forcing enthusiasm, but inside, envy coiled tight. "She sounds great, man. When's the second date?" Tyler shrugged, chugging half his bottle. "Tomorrow, maybe. But hey, enough about me, what's eating you? You bailed like I offended you." Joshua's laugh was brittle, cracking at the edges. Honesty had become their currency. He couldn't cheapen it now. "Just seeing you with her made me feel like the third wheel in my own life." Tyler's brow furrowed, setting his beer down with a thud. "Josh, come on. You're not a wheel, you're the axle. Without you, I'd be lost in this town." The words warmed Joshua, a balm on the bruise, but they also highlighted the chasm. Tyler leaned forward, elbows on knees, his voice dropping to that confessional timbre. "Look, after you told me, flipped a switch. Made me question stuff. Like, why I've always leaned on you so hard. You're not just a friend, you're home." Joshua's heart stuttered, reading volumes into the pause. Was this the bridge he'd dreamed of? They talked deep into the night, the conversation meandering from Tyler's fears of fading into PA obscurity to Joshua's quiet dread of perpetual singledom. Tyler admitted his string of failed relationships stemmed from chasing his parents' heteronormative blueprint: stable job, wife, 2.5 kids in the suburbs. "But what if that's not me?" he mused, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Joshua held his breath, the air electric with possibility. "Then you rewrite the script, Ty. You're the storyteller." Tyler turned to him then, eyes locking in the lamplight, and for a heartbeat, Joshua swore he saw hunger there, not just brotherhood. The moment shattered when Tyler's phone lit up. Lila, texting a heart emoji. He replied with a winky face, the casual intimacy a slap. Joshua excused himself to the kitchen, splashing water on his face, willing the fantasy away. When he returned, Tyler was scrolling scripts, the vulnerability sealed shut. They parted with a bro hug at the door, Tyler's "love you" man echoing like a half-promise. The following weeks were a whirlwind of almosts. Tyler and Lila became official, Instagram posts of sunset hikes and avocado toast dates that Joshua liked through gritted teeth. Gym sessions turned charged, Tyler's encouragement laced with extra intensity, his spotter hands lingering on Joshua's waist during squats. "Push it, Josh. You got this," he'd murmur, breath hot against his ear. Joshua's body responded traitorously, muscles burning under the double weight of iron and desire. Afterward, showers separate but minds entangled, Joshua tracing the steam fog tiles with fantasies he dared not voice. One rainy October afternoon, as LA's rare downpour sheeted the streets, Tyler called in a panic. "Lila's freaking out. thinks I'm not committed. Help! Joshua met him at a WeHo cafe, umbrellas dripping like tears. Tyler paced the sidewalk, hair plastered, recounting the fight. Lila accusing him of emotional unavailability, of prioritizing that friend over her. Joshua's gut twisted, jealousy warring with empathy. Tell her the truth, Ty. That I'm not a threat. I'm just me. Tyler stopped, rain beating on his lashes, and grabbed Joshua's arm. But what if you are? What if this us? It's more than I thought. The confession hung, soaked and trembling. Joshua's world tilted, the cafe's chatter fading to white noise. Ty! But Tyler pulled back, shaking his head like waking from a dream. Forget it. Rain's messing with my head. He dashed inside, leaving Joshua drenched in more than water. That night, alone with a sketchpad, Joshua drew them. Two figures intertwined against a stormy sea, lines blurring where bodies met. Art as catharsis, bleeding emotion onto paper. Lila and Tyler patched things, the makeup sex implied in Tyler's glowing texts. Joshua buried himself in work, designing a pride campaign for a local nonprofit that earned him a feature in LA Weekly. Pride Month approached, and Tyler insisted they march together. Brothers against the world, right? The parade was a riot of color. Rainbow flags snapping in the breeze, drag queens on floats belting Gaga. The crowd a sea of acceptance that buoyed Joshua's spirits. Tyler marched beside him, sign reading straight but not narrow, his enthusiasm genuine, if a touch performative. But midway through, as confetti rained and cheers swelled, Tyler vanished into the throng. Joshua searched, heart hammering, until he spotted him, locked in an argument with a group of activists. Lila at his side, her face flushed. It's not about tokenism, Tyler shouted, voice carrying over the bass. Joshua pushed through, catching the tail. Something about proving allyship without stealing the spotlight. Lila spotted him first, eyes narrowing. Your friend's the one causing drama. Josh. Tell him to chill. The accusation landed like a stray bottle rocket. Tyler rounded on Joshua, frustration boiling over. She thinks I'm using you to look good, like this is some PR stunt. Joshua reeled, the parade's joy souring. Is it? The question slipped out, sharper than intended. Tyler's face crumpled, betrayal flashing. How can you even ask that? He stormed off, Lila trailing, leaving Joshua adrift in the glitter-strewn street. Reconciliation came via voicemail. Tyler's voice thick. I screwed up. Meet at the gym. Joshua went, the familiar clang of weights a reluctant homecoming. Tyler waited by the mats, eyes red-rimmed. Lila and I were done. She said I was in love with the idea of you, not her. Joshua's breath hitched, the gym's AC raising goosebumps. And Tyler stepped closer, vulnerability raw. Maybe she's right. Maybe I've been blind. The kiss, when it came, was tentative, a brush of lips in the shadowed corner, tasting of salt and revelation. Joshua pulled back first, searching Tyler's face for regret. There was none, only a quiet fire. Ty, you've always said. Tyler silenced him with a finger to his lips. I know what I said. But feelings don't follow scripts. They didn't speak after that, just finished their sets in charged silence, the air humming with unspoken futures. But doubt crept in like fog off the bay. Was this real? or rebound from Lila's exit. Joshua lay awake that night, the city's pulse syncing with his fears. Tyler texted at 2 a.m., "Can't sleep. This changes everything." Joshua replied, "Or nothing. Depends on us." Dawn brought clarity, or so he thought. They met for coffee at Alfred's, the WeHo staple with its buttery croissants and unspoken histories. Tyler arrived disheveled, coffee in hand already. "I told my sister last night. About us. She said family's family. Labels be damned." Joshua's chest expanded, hope blooming tentative. They spent the day wandering Fairfax, street art murals mirroring their messy canvas, Tyler's hand brushing his, fingers lacing briefly in the shadow of a palm. Felt like a movie, the rom-com arc bending toward them. But as sunset painted the hills gold, Tyler's phone rang, his agent, a callback for a writing fellowship in New York. "It's huge, Josh. But it's across the country, the fork in the road, sharp as shattered glass." Joshua forced a smile. "Go. This is your dream." Tyler searched his eyes, the weight of choice heavy. "What about ours?" The question lingered, unanswered, as they parted with a kiss that tasted of goodbyes. New York pulled Tyler east like a magnet, the fellowship a siren call of brownstones and Broadway dreams. Joshua waved him off at LAX, the roar of jets drowning his "call me every day." Tyler's hug was fierce, promising, but the terminal's bustle swept him away, leaving Joshua with an empty gate and a heart echoing hollow. Back in his apartment, the silence amplified, no Tyler crashing through with takeout, no late-night script reads. Joshua threw himself into Pride Prep, the nonprofit gig expanding to murals downtown, rainbows exploding across concrete like defiant blooms. Texts bridged the miles at first, Tyler's selfies from Central Park, Joshua's sketches of LA sunsets. "Miss your face," Tyler typed one night, followed by a voice note thick with exhaustion. "This city's chaos, but it reminds me of us, unpredictable, alive." Joshua played it on loop, the timbre a tether. Video calls became ritual, Tyler's dorm room backdrop cluttered with notebooks, his smile weary but warm. "Wrote a scene today, 2 guys, best friends turned something more." "Sound familiar?" Joshua laughed, the flirtation a spark across the ether. But distance bred shadows. Tyler's updates grew sporadic, mentions of networking drinks with sharp-jawed writers slipping in. Joshua scrolled his Instagram, stomach nodding at group shots, Tyler's arm around a lanky barista type, captions winking late nights, great fights, innocent, probably, but paranoia whispered otherwise. One call, Tyler's eyes darted off screen. "Who's that?" Joshua asked lightly. "Just a roommate, dude's a slob." The deflection stung, a hairline fracture. Summer faded into fall, LA's heat yielding to crisp evenings where Joshua walked Mulholland alone, city lights sprawling like neural networks. He dated tentatively, a barista with tattoos and a poet's soul, coffee dates that fizzled into polite goodbyes. "You're holding back," the guy said, and Joshua couldn't deny it. His heart was freighted east. Tyler's fellowship extended. Another 6 months. Pilot script greenlit. Celebration calls buzzed with champagne toasts. But Joshua heard the undertow. "Wish you were here, Josh. This win's half yours." Thanksgiving loomed, a family-free void for both. Tyler suggested Joshua fly out. Turkey in the village, our first holiday as us. Joshua booked the ticket, nerves electric. JFK's chaos enveloped him. Tyler waiting at arrivals with a sign, "World's okayest boyfriend." They tumbled into a cab, lips meeting in the back seat. The city blurring past like a fever dream. Tyler's new place was a walk-up in Brooklyn. Exposed brick and leaky faucets. But it felt like sanctuary. They cooked. Burnt turkey and lumpy gravy. Laughing until tears came. Then making love on the futon with the tenderness of rediscovery. Bodies mapping familiar territories anew. No. Wait. Their intimacy was chaste. A deepening of touches and whispers. Hands intertwined under sheets as they talked dreams into the dark. Tyler traced Joshua's jaw. Voice soft. "I was scared. You know, back in LA. After Lila. Thought if I admitted it, I'd lose you as a friend." Joshua pressed closer. The admission a bridge. "You gained more." Days blurred in a haze of subways and galleries. Tyler's hand in his through the High Line's wild tangles. Stolen kisses amid leaf piles. New York softened Tyler. His scripts gaining layers of vulnerability. Echoes of their story woven in. But cracks spiderwebbed. At a holiday party in a Soho loft, Tyler's producer cornered Joshua. "Ty's got talent, but he's distracted. Always checking his phone for you." The words landed like tinsel thorns. Later, overhearing Tyler on a call. "Yeah, the serious. But the distance. Man." Joshua slipped out for air. The winter wind biting. When Tyler found him, bundled on the fire escape, his face was a mask of guilt. "Overheard that? It was nothing." Agent pushing for focus. Joshua nodded, but trust frayed. A thread pulled loose. Christmas brought a gift exchange under a Charlie Brown tree. Tyler's leather-bound journal for Joshua's sketches. Pages filled with their adventures. "Write our sequel," Tyler murmured, kissing his temple. But as snow dusted the windows, Joshua glimpsed a text notification. "Missed you at drinks. When's Cali boy gone?" From Alex, the barista. Joshua's blood chilled. "Who's Alex?" he asked later, casual as snowflakes. Tyler's laugh was too quick. "Gym buddy." Jealous. Deflection again. Sharper now. The new year dawned with resolutions unspoken. Joshua returned to LA. The red eye a cocoon of what-ifs. Calls resumed, but silences stretched longer. Tyler's busy week a refrain. February brought Valentine's. A care package from New York. Chocolates and a mixtape of their songs. Springsteen to Hozier. Joshua reciprocated with a custom storyboard for Tyler's pilot. Frames capturing their essence. Gratitude poured in texts. But then radio silence, a week. Then two. Panic clawed Joshua's throat. He called. Voicemail swallowing his pleas. The email arrived like a gut punch. Tyler's script attached. With a note. "Read this. It's us. But better." Joshua devoured it. Tears blurring the pages. Two friends navigating love's labyrinth. Betrayal's sting. Redemption's grace. But the dedication chilled him. For a who showed me the light. For Alex, Joshua's hands shook, dialing furiously. Tyler answered on the fourth ring, voice muffled by party noise. "Josh? Hey. Sorry, rap party ran late." The script. For a who the hell is that? Silence stretched. Then Tyler's sigh, heavy as lead. "Alex. We hung out. It's not what you think." Betrayal bloomed, hot and visceral. "Not what? You're fucking around while I'm here holding the line." Tyler's tone sharpened. You're in LA. Josh, this city's eating me alive. And Alex. He gets it. No drama. No distance. The words eviscerated. Joshua's world fracturing. So I'm the drama? The gay best friend who complicated your straight life. No, God. No. I love you. But this. It's too hard. Love. The word. Weaponized. Joshua hung up, the phone slipping from numb fingers. He wandered WeHo streets, neon blurring through tears, landing at a dive bar where drag bingo masked his unraveling. Stranger's kindness, a shared cigarette, a listening ear, pieced him fractionally whole. Dawn found him sketching fury onto napkins, lines jagged as his heart. Spring crept in, cherry blossoms mocking renewal. Joshua blocked Tyler's number, diving into therapy and art collectives, his murals gaining acclaim, raw expressions of fractured love splashed across gallery walls. Friends rallied. A queer book club that became family, hikes with a designer crush named Marco who saw him, truly. But Tyler haunted the edges, a script leak online, whispers of his rising star, a tabloid blurb, Tyler's muse, mystery man in the city that never sleeps. Closure came unbidden, a care package on his doorstep, the journal, sketches returned, a letter inside. Tyler's scrawl, I betrayed us because I feared myself. Alex was escape, not love. Forgive me, or at least, read the ending. Joshua burned it in the sink. Flames licking words to ash, but kept the journal, its blank pages a canvas for his own story. Months later, at a film fest in Santa Monica, Tyler appeared, uninvited, eyes haunted. Josh, one word, a plea. Joshua stood tall, the ocean breeze salting his resolve. You broke us, Ty. But I rebuilt. Tyler nodded, tears carving tracks. I know. I'm sorry. The script. It tanked without you. Joshua's laugh was free, unburdened. Good. Write your truth now. They parted as strangers, the gym memory a distant echo. Joshua walked away, toward Marco's waiting smile, the sun setting on old wounds. No, the story demanded more, a climax yet to crest. Tyler's hand caught his wrist. Wait. I'm moving back. For real this time. Joshua searched his eyes, seeing the boy from UCLA, the man who'd grown. Prove it. The proof unfolded in fragments. Tyler's return a slow reel of redemption. He sublet a place in Silver Lake, a shoebox with skyline views and ghosts of what-ifs. No grand gestures, just showing up at Joshua's murals, paint-splattered hands offering coffee, silent companionship as brushes danced. Let me earn it, Tyler said one dusk, as they washed out trays under a hydrant spray. Joshua nodded, wary but willing, the water cool on heated skin. Rebuilding was gritty, no montage gloss. Arguments flared over dinners scavenged from food trucks. Tyler's defensiveness about New York. It was survival. Joshua's barbs honed sharp. Survival or selfishness? Nights ended in truces, tangled on Joshua's couch watching old movies. Tyler's head on his shoulder a tentative anchor. Intimacy crept back chaste. Forehead kisses after bad days. Shared playlists that wove their silences into harmony. Tyler's script rewrite became their bridge. He read drafts aloud in the park, voice cracking on scenes of betrayal that mirrored their fracture. This part, when he walks away, it's you, Leaving me in the rain. Joshua edited with red pen and honesty, cutting fluff for bone truth. Make it hurt more, he'd say. Love isn't tidy. Tyler listened, his ego yielding, the pages thickening with their shared scars. Spring swelled into summer, LA's heatwave mirroring the thaw. They resumed gym rituals, the clang of plates a metronome to healing. Tyler's spotter grip was surer now, encouragement laced with pride. You're stronger than me. Josh always were. Sweat-slicked high fives lingered, evolving into handholds in the locker room steam. Vulnerability bared without words. But conflict simmered beneath. Tyler's agent pushed a deal. Another East Coast gig. Your big break. Dinner at Joshua's turned tense. Forks scraping plates. Go if you need to, Joshua said, voice steady but eyes pleading. Tyler slammed his napkin down. It's not about need, it's us. Why do you always assume I'll run? Joshua's retort flew. Because you did. Alex. The distance. Patterns don't lie. The air crackled. Old wounds reopening. Tyler stormed out, door rattling the frame. Joshua paced, regret a tide. Hours later, a knock, Tyler. Rain soaked again, though LA skies were clear. I called the agent. Turned it down. Joshua pulled him inside. The hug fierce. Apologies murmured into damp collars. I'm all in. Josh. Scary as hell, but in. Summer's peak brought the climax. Tyler's pilot screening at a small fest in Pasadena. The theater hummed with indie buzz. Joshua in the front row. Heart-pounding sync to the projector. The film unspooled their story, veiled but visceral. Two men navigating love's treacherous waters. Betrayal's storm. Forgiveness's dawn. Gasps rippled at the twist. The straight lead confronting his fluidity, choosing authenticity over acclaim. Credits rolled to applause. Tyler's name bold, but his dedication simple. For Joshua, my truth. After party at a rooftop bar. Stars pricking the smog. Tyler found him by the railing. City lights a glittering sea below. What did you think? Joshua turned. Eyes shining. It breathed. We breathed. Tyler cupped his face, thumb tracing lip. Because of you. The kiss was public, unhurried, a declaration amid clinking glasses and whoops. Strangers toasted to love, the moment cinematic, hearts sinking in the night. But humanity's edge cut deep. Tyler's family called the next day. His mother, voice quavering over speaker, saw the film online. Is it you? Tyler's hand tightened on Joshua's. Yeah, Mom. It's me. And him. Silence stretched. Then a sob. Then, bring him home. For Easter. Boise beckoned. A gauntlet of heartland judgments. They flew out, nerves frayed. Tyler's childhood home a rancher with swing sets and suspicion. The dinner was a minefield. Tyler's dad gruff, fork stabbing meat, sister wide-eyed but warm. Joshua sat rigid, small talk his shield. Pass the potatoes? But Tyler's mom pierced the veil. The movie beautiful. Painful. Is that how it felt? Tyler nodded, voice thick. Worse. But worth it. Eyes met around the table, tensions coiling. Then Tyler's dad cleared his throat. Son, I don't get it. But you're my boy. He's welcome here. The olive branch. Tentative, but real. Joshua's throat closed. Gratitude a wave. Back in LA, the afterglow faded into routine's grind. Tyler's fame trickled. Interviews. A glad nod, but paparazzi whispers hounded. Tyler's coming out tale. Fact or fiction? Pressure mounted. Tyler withdrawing into revisions. Joshua's freelance drying up amid burnout. One night, argument erupted over takeout. "You're pulling away again," Joshua accused. Tyler snapped, "I'm protecting us. From the noise. The hate." Joshua's voice rose. "By shutting me out? That's not protection. It's prison." Words escalated. Hurts unearthed. Tyler's guilt over Alex a festering sore. Joshua's fear of abandonment a specter. "Maybe we rushed," Tyler whispered, the doubt a dagger. Joshua recoiled, packing a bag. "Or maybe we never started." He crashed at Marco's, the designer's couch a limbo, tears soaking throw pillows. Days blurred. No contact. Joshua sketching abstracts of rage and loss. Tyler broke first. A handwritten note slipped under the door. "I lied. It's not doubt. It's terror. Of losing you to my mess. Come back." Joshua read it at dawn. Coffee cold. Heart warring. He went, finding Tyler on the floor amid crumpled pages. Eyes hollow. "I'm sorry," Tyler choked. "Love isn't easy. It's work." Joshua knelt, pulling him close. "Then let's work." Fall leaves turned, their bond tempered in fire. Joshua's murals evolved, narratives of resilient love, commissioned for a WeHo center. Tyler's next script, a queer ensemble, premiered to acclaim, their story the quiet core. Holidays healed further. Boise again, this time with pie fights and tentative hugs. Tyler's dad gifting Joshua a fishing rod for next summer, yet humanism whispered of impermanence. A health scare, Tyler's irregular heartbeat, stress-fueled, grounded them. Hospital waits, Joshua's hand in his, monitors beeping life's fragility. "If tomorrow," Tyler murmured. Joshua silenced him. "We have today." Recovery brought clarity. Priorities realigned, weekly check-ins. Date nights amid chaos. Love as verb. Winter's solstice. They stood on Griffith Observatory's overlook. City a constellation below. Tyler's arm around Joshua's waist. Breath fogging glass. From Jim confession to this. Feels like a miracle. Joshua leaned in. Stars reflected in eyes. Nah. Just us. Choosing each day. The new year unfurled like a fresh script page. Blank but promising. Joshua and Tyler settled into a rhythm. Their Silver Lake rental a haven of exposed beams and half-finished canvases. Mornings began with espresso and edits. Tyler's laptop glowing beside Joshua's sketchpad. Collaborations seamless as breath. Afternoons wandered farmers' markets. Tyler haggling for heirloom tomatoes while Joshua eyed artisanal cheeses. Their banter a well-worn groove. But LA's underbelly lurked. Industry vultures circling Tyler's buzz. Offers laced with compromises. A studio exec lunch turned sour. Tone down the queer leads. Test audiences balk. Tyler vented over foe that night. Chopsticks snapping. It's art. Not a checklist. Joshua squeezed his knee under the table. Then walk. Your voice matters. Tyler did. The rejection fueling a indie pivot. His agent grumbling but loyal. Joshua's art surged too. A solo show at a Culver City gallery. Murals translated to canvas. Fractured hearts mending in urban grit. Opening night thrummed. Collectors mingling with queer icons. Tyler's toast drawing cheers. To Joshua my muse. My mirror. The kiss that followed. Amid flashes. was unapologetic, a stake in the ground. Spring brought visitors. Tyler's sister and her wife, a whirlwind of board games and beach volleyball in Venice. Joshua bonded over wine, sharing coming-out war stories, the acceptance a bomb. "Ty's lucky," she confided. "You ground him," Joshua smiled, but inwardly tallied the toll. Nights Tyler paced with insomnia, scripts haunting him like ex-lovers. Conflict crested unexpectedly. An ex, Alex, emailed Tyler a congrats on the premiere, innocuous but laced with nostalgia. Joshua glimpsed it, old scars itching. "Delete it," he urged, voice tight. Tyler bristled. "It's nothing. Why dredge this?" The fight spilled. Joshua's insecurity a floodgate, Tyler's defensiveness a dam. "You think I want that chaos back? Alex was a mistake. You're my choice." Joshua stormed to the balcony, city lights blurring. Choices can change. Reconciliation brewed over dawn patrol at the gym, the one place truths surfaced unvarnished. Tyler arrived with protein shakes, eyes earnest. I blocked him. And therapy solo sessions to unpack my crap. Joshua nodded, barbells clanging absolution. They lifted together, weights mirroring burdens shared, sweat forging solidarity. Summer's heat peaked with a road trip, Route 66 Redux, from LA to Chicago, chasing Americana's vein. Dusty motels and dive diners, Tyler's playlist shuffling Dylan and Diplo, Joshua navigating with doodled maps. Moments etched deep, stargazing in Arizona's void. Tyler's whisper, "This us on the open road, it's freedom." A breakdown in New Mexico tested them. Stranded under merciless sun, AAA hours away. Irritation flared, but Joshua's roadside sketches of Tyler napping in the shade diffused it, laughter bubbling. "My night, defeated by a flat," Joshua teased. Tyler pulled him close. "Your night, always." Chicago's skyline welcomed with wind-whipped kisses, Tyler's old college haunt stirring memories. They wandered Millennium Park, Cloud Gate reflecting their tangled forms. But a chance encounter, Tyler's Navy buddy, beers turning to probes, "Heard you're different now." "Happy?" Tyler's arm tightened around Joshua. "Happier than ever." The affirmation, public and proud, sealed the night. Fall's harvest brought harvest of dreams. Tyler's indie film greenlit, shooting slated for Vancouver. "Come with?" he asked, proposal casual but eyes pleading. Joshua hesitated, his gallery commitments, roots deepening. 6 months? I'd wither. Negotiation ensued. Compromises carved. Bi-coastal weekends. Daily calls. Trust as compass. Departure day at LAX echoed their first goodbye, but laced with certainty. Tyler's hug lingered. This time, no running. Joshua nodded, throat tight. No doubts. Vancouver posts flooded. Tyler's on-set selfies with flannel-clad crew. Joshua's replies heart emojis and "Miss your chaos." Distance tested. A 3-hour call glitching into frustration. Signal sucks. Feels like miles in our words. But letters bridged. Tyler's handwritten. Joshua's illustrated. Envelopes fat with longing. Thanksgiving solo. Joshua hosted orphans. Marco and book club crew. Turkey charred but spirits high. Tyler FaceTimed from a snowbound set. Pie in frame. Next year. Together in Boise. The promise warmed. Christmas cards arrived. Tyler's with a Vancouver skyline sketched by Joshua's hand. Mailed ahead. Winter's grip tightened with crisis. Joshua's mom. A olive branch email from Ohio. Saw your art online. Proud. Despite everything. Tears came. Therapy unpacking the prodigal wound. Tyler flew down mid-shoot, holding him through sobs. She's reaching. Meet her halfway? Joshua did. A cautious call. Voices tentative. Then cracking into laughter over shared recipes. Come visit, she said. With Tyler. The whole family. Spring renewal. Vancouver rap party streamed. Tyler's promo tour hitting LA. Reunion at the airport, arms enveloping. Kisses devouring the gap. Missed your Ella smell. Sun and smog, Tyler murmured. They dove into normalcy. Tyler's downtime filled with Joshua's show prep. Gallery night redux. But grander, sold pieces funding a joint studio space. Yet betrayal's echo lingered. Subtle. A tabloid snippet. Tyler's set fling? Co-star sparks rumors. Joshua confronted over breakfast. Article printout trembling. Tyler's face blanched. Fabricated crap. Publicity stunt. Proof poured. Co-star's denial tweet. Agent's assurance. But trust quivered. I believe you, Joshua said. But the hits keep coming. Tyler pulled him close. Then let's armor up, together. Climax brewed in Boise. Easter visit a reckoning. Tyler's family expanded. Cousins. Aunts. The ranch table groaning under ham and deviled eggs. Joshua's arrival with flowers disarmed. His mom's hug fierce. Your family now. But Tyler's dad pulled him aside. Voice gruff. Heard the rumors. You too solid. Joshua met his gaze. Solid as we choose. The nod. Proving. Patriarch's blessing. Dinner discourses deepened. Politics skirted. Love affirmed. Tyler's toast. To second chances. For all of us. Tears rimmed eyes. The room a cocoon of healing. Night's bonfire crackled confessions. Tyler's dad admitting his own regrets. A youthful crush buried in 50s conformity. Wish I'd been braver. Joshua's hand in Tyler's. The circle complete. Return to LA buzzed with momentum. Tyler's film trailer dropped. Queer rep lauded. Joshua's mural tour, East Coast leg. Syncing with promo. They traveled tandem. Hotel nights a blur of room service and reverie. Love's language fluent. But humanism tempered triumph. A call from Dr. Elena. Joshua's anxiety spiking. Burnout's shadow. Pace yourselves, she advised. They did. Sabbath Sundays. Phone-free hikes. Therapy tandem. Summer solstice. Runyon summit. Tyler on one knee. Not ring but vow. Marry me? Not today. But someday when we're ready. Joshua's yes. Whispered into wind. Sealed their arc. Autumn's palette gilded their days. The studio space a shared heartbeat. Tyler's desk abutting Joshua's easel. Ideas ricocheting like pinballs. Tyler's film premiered at TIFF. Red carpet electric. Hands clasped. Flashes blinding. Interviews affirming. Loves the plot twist. Tyler quipped to Variety. Joshua's squeeze grounding. Acclaim cascaded Sundance invite. Streaming deal. But they sidestepped the frenzy. Escaping to Joshua's Ohio roots postfest. The farmhouse loomed. White clabbered, weathered but welcoming. Joshua's mom enveloped them. Apple pie steaming. His dad silent but present. Grip firm in handshake. Siblings trickled in. Kids tumbling like puppies. Dinner a cacophony of catch-up. Your murals, saw 'em in the paper, a brother grunted. Joshua's chest swelled. Fragments mending. Nights on the porch swing. Tyler charming with tales. Joshua's head on shoulder. Crickets chorusing approval. Winter whispered warnings. Tyler's arrhythmia flared. A checkup revealing stress nodes. Slow down, the doc urged. They did. Tyler's next project shelved for co-written graphic novel. Joshua's visuals breathing life into prose. Collaboration deepened intimacy. Panels pulsing with their pulse. Heroes queer and unyielding. Villains internalized doubts slain. Spring's thaw mirrored renewal. Boise wedding for Tyler's sister. Joshua best man. Vows echoing their unspoken. Toasts tiered. Tyler's whisper. Our turn soon. Back west. Pride swelled triumphant. Grand martial float. Their kiss on Jumbotron drawing roars. But a protest fringe hurled slurs. A bottle shattering near. Tyler shielded. Fury flashing. Not here, not us. Security swarmed. But the venom lingered. A reminder of world's edges. Conflict crested in quiet. Joshua's wanderlust stirred. A residency in Berlin tempting. Solo? Tyler's voice cracked over dinner. It's art. Tie not escape. Debate raged. Fears of distance's devious pull. Trust's tensile test. We survived New York, Joshua countered. Tyler relented. Tear-streaked. Go. But come back whole. Berlin's gray canals and graffiti walls ignited Joshua. Sketches feverish. Emails bridged. Tyler's dailies. Joshua's postcards illustrated with U-Bahn vignettes. Loneliness nipped. But growth flowered queer collectives. Exhibits that challenged. A flirtation flickered. A gallery curator's dinner invite. But Joshua demurred. Loyalty's compass true. Return's airport embrace was seismic. Tyler's missed your chaos dissolving miles. They dove into planning. Commitment ceremony. Low-key on Malibu sands. Invites to chosen kin. Summer's eve. Waves lapping. Vows exchanged under driftwood arch. Tyler's, I choose you. Every rewrite. Joshua's in frames and fragments. Forever. Rings simple. Steel bands etched with gym dates. Sealed with salt-kissed kiss. Fall's harvest reaped fruits. Graphic novel launch. Bestseller lists queer-lit section. Tours tandem. Q&A as intimate. Betrayal taught forgiveness. Tyler shared. Joshua added. Loves the humanism, flawed. Fierce. Holidays hybrid Ohio for Thanksgiving. Boise for Christmas. Tables groaning with bridged divides. Winter's hush brought profundity. Tyler's proposal formalized. Paperwork for legal union. Courthouse steps. Witnesses' friends. Joy unadorned. Husband. Tyler tested. Grin boyish. Joshua's laugh free. Partner. Always. Spring's bloom heralded legacy. Mentorship program. Tyler teaching screenwriting to queer youth. Joshua visual arts. Gym sessions evolved. Yoga now. Mindfulness amid mats. Bodies aligned in grace. One session. Post-flow. Tyler's hand on heart. Feel that? Steady. Because of you. Climax's echo faded into denouement humanistic. Not perfection, but persistence. A script rejection stung. Joshua's exhibit critiqued harshly. Setbacks shared over burritos. Resilience reaffirmed. Society's gaze shifted. GLAAD awards. But online trolls bade. They armored with advocacy. Panels on representation. Love as activism. Summer's zenith. Big Sur cabin redux. Anniversary escape. Bonfire confessions evolved. Remember the first? Tyler mused, embers dancing. Joshua nodded. Jim Hook dropped weights, lifted truth. Laughter mingled with waves. Bodies entwined in chaste reverence. Stars witnesses. As leaves turned once more, they stood on precipice of futures. Adoption whispers, travel dreams, art's endless canvas. Betrayal scar faded to lesson, conflict to character, emotions to depth. In America's vast tapestry, LA's pulse, Heartland's heart, they wove their thread, gay, romantic, unyielding, humanistic close. No tidy bow, but enduring light. Joshua sketched their silhouette against sunset, Tyler's arm eternal. Our story, he said. Tyler kissed his temple, endless drafts, and in that, grace, love not despite flaws, but through them, a testament to courage's quiet roar.